Welcome back, good people, to another good episode of Investors Playbook Live. Um, as always, you have your co-hosts Cornell and Deshaun, and what we do every week is bring you financial news, financial topics, and what we feel or how we feel like the sentiment of the market is right now and where it could be going. We have to start this episode by talking about what happened yesterday, Saturday, June 21st, 2025. The U.S. bombed three of Iran's nuclear facilities. It is a weekend, so we are not seeing how the market will react. But come Monday, that's what we're going to talk about in this episode. What we think is going to happen come Monday, and then just how we have done research and how the market has normally reacted in general when it came to times of war. What do we normally see? How are investors reacting? So I do want to also start the episode by saying it is a interesting time right now. It's always good to be prepared. We are living in a time of potential involvement in war. So though we come and we always talk about finances, uh, understand that a lot is happening in this world. So just make sure that you are staying prepared, staying safe. And as you listen to this, just know that we appreciate you tuning in for sure. But Cornell, go ahead. I'm going to pass it over to you. When you heard the news yesterday, what were your initial thoughts?
Of course, with us being in America, man, my first thought was retaliation. First and foremost, I think lives are the most important thing, like over money. To be
Absolutely.
honest, yeah. So it's unfortunate. Like even before this, like the hundreds that have died, the thousands that have been injured in Iran due to these suspicion of nuclear weapons. I don't have knowledge of exactly what was going on, but of course, like they're saying that this is why um, Israel is attacking Iran, and this is why. And these were the sites that we bombed yesterday. Three nuclear sites. I don't have the cities right in front of me right now, but yeah. But of course, like with us being investors playbook, um, as far as on the finance side, of course, this could affect us with gas. And as we go further into this, like just make sure that you all like and subscribe, okay? And make sure you share with someone that this information could be useful too. All right, it will help us grow and it help us get our message out. We really appreciate y'all for joining us. But yeah, so like as we were saying, it's unfortunate. Like a lot of lives are being threatened right now. People are thinking that Iran will retaliate, which I could see uh, could happen. Uh, Especially with us, what we just did yesterday. And my thing is, I understand that right now we're in a rock and a hard place, man, because of course it is our business. Because as the U.S. has been saying for years, Iran having nuclear weapons is bad for everybody. Also, Israel, we do have an alliance with them. So of course we can't just say, hey, we're out of it. We're hands off. So I can understand to some degree why this happened. But I do know that things were put in place by Barack Obama, um, an agreement to pause the nuclear the development of nuclear weapons in Iran. But Trump actually withdrew us from this agreement.
Yeah,
So, so it's a lot that's going on. But yeah, like
definitely.
as I was saying, on the finance side, I think this can affect oil, of course, because the Middle East is where we get a lot of our oil from. So we can expect gas prices to rise. Um, Also, we can see uncertainty in the stock market. So we can see stocks start to tank. And of course, while a lot of people will be affected negatively about this, there are ways that you can make money during downturn of a market. Uh, Investing in things like UVYX, is it UVYX?
Yep.
Yeah, which
The
is the
inverse.
inverse.
Hmm.
It's the inverse of the S&P 500, or you could play stocks, which are a lot more risky, and put a put on the market and make money that way. So in every situation, there's opportunity. Not saying not that's not making the situation a good situation, but you still have to learn how to adapt to every situation because everything's not going to be sunshine and rainbows. What do you
Yeah.
think, bro?
I have very similar sentiment, man. I think that market uncertainty brings about a selling of the market. That's what typically happens. As I was researching and seeing how the markets reacted to 2001 when the war on terror kind of started, how the markets reacted to wars even further back. It's always an initial sharp downturn, like sharp downturn. So, become Monday, I imagine what we're going to see is a sell off. But as you mentioned, if you are able to play the game correctly, if you are able to, make an opportunity out of a bad situation, then you can do things like play puts. You don't have to just play puts on stocks either. You can place a put on mutual funds, on ETFs. Well, not a mutual fund, sorry. You can play puts on ETFs, right? You can play puts on index funds. If you want to place a put on the S&P 500, SPY would be the ticker that you would place a put on. For the NASDAQ is NQ or QQQ. My apologies. I'm thinking of futures. So there are ways, like you said, to not take this situation and lose all of your money or make no money. You can do things like you said, play puts. What a lot of people have typically done in the past is put their money into safer assets, safer commodities. Usually with situations like these, we see things like gold increase in price. We see things like crude oil increase in price. And you had mentioned that at the beginning of the episode, that the price of oil is going to go up, which means very similar the stock market. Well, the any stocks that are focused on investing in gold or focused on investing in oil will probably go up as well. Something else that I read, which somewhat makes sense. I think it's more of a reaction of just this exact moment is they mentioned that the price of the dollar gets stronger during times of uncertainty, which we were talking a little bit about this before the episode. It If someone is looking at a single incident, sure. But there is a lot more happening in the world that says the dollar is not going to get any stronger. So how that plays out and how that is going to how Monday is going to react to that is still uncertain. But essentially people like to move to more safer assets. They take their money out of riskier assets and move them somewhere safe so that their money doesn't get affected as much, but it can still grow. What they're hoping for is that it doesn't get depleted, though. That's their goal. Um, so if you do have a strategy, if you're listening and you do have a strategy, we would love to hear it. Like, what is it that how do you react to market uncertainty? Are you a person who just immediately sells and puts your money into something like a savings account? Um, do you have golden hands? Are you just holding on and like waiting for it to go back up? Because as we've seen in history, every market downturn has seen a rebound in history. Like there has not been a market downturn that has not went back up, right? And we're talking when I say market, I mean index funds, S&P 500. You have single stocks that have went down and have not come back up. So I can't say every stock always comes back. That's not the case. The market as a whole typically rebounds when when it does have a sell-off. We saw it in 2020, we saw it in 2022, we saw it in 2008, and we might see it tomorrow. not see the entire thing play out, but we might see that the start of it happen tomorrow, given what happened on Saturday. So yeah, man, those are my thoughts.
Yeah.
Uncertainty normally brings about selling. And
So
right now there's definitely uncertainty. Go ahead.
so I agree. We've already seen Bitcoin decrease in price. I know just a week and a half ago, Bitcoin was $110,000. It just fell below 100,000 today. Right now, Bitcoin is sitting at $99,000. Okay. So I know that this is a currency. So it does give me a little bit of confusion on why Bitcoin is, I guess they want to put things in more certain investments, and people might not think of Bitcoin as that at this moment. So I guess I can understand that. But I suspect personally that the market will follow suit on Monday and also after Monday, especially if we see some retaliation from Iran or any of their allies. So that's something we can expect. And just remember, like Deshaun said, the stock market has recovered from every downturn that has ever happened. Okay, so in these times of uncertainty, when the stock market is dropping, what I'm doing is I'm accumulating stocks while they're cheap. I might have some puts to hedge my losses, and then keep playing my game. Okay, so I'm not going to take out of the market because something happened. Yes, these are tough times, and we don't know when it's going to end. But at the end of the day, history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. So let's make sure that we act accordingly based on history, based on evidence, and not
Yeah.
based on fear and feelings.
Yeah, man. The FUD can make you do something that you'll regret years down the road. That's that fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Okay. Don't let that be the controller of what you do with your finances. Um, this moment is new, but like Cornell said, it definitely rhymes with things of the past. This is not the first time the US military, did what they did on Saturday. And it probably won't be the last. So the key is to be prepared. How does how does one prepare? How do you prepare? What does that look like for you? And on this show, what we want to do is make sure that we bring you the news and give you tips on assisting in that preparation. That's the goal. Uh, because no one really know. You can't plan for this. All you can do is be prepared. Because planning means you know what's going to happen. We don't know the outcome. So be as prepared as you can. And one key thing with preparation is understanding what's happening, getting that knowledge. So, as always, we appreciate you all tuning in. We appreciate you all listening um, as we deliver information because a lot of people could be, I mean, people are watching whatever they want right now, right? I think there are there are millions of TV shows going on right now. So we definitely appreciate you all tuning into this one and hearing us out, listening to this information. We hope that you all, if you're not already off the sidelines, and this is a message that will assist you in getting off the sidelines. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. So come tomorrow. We're going to see.
We gonna see. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. But all right. I think
All right,
that's
y'all.
all we got for him today.
That's all we got. Hey, so I appreciate y'all. Hey, y'all stay safe out there.
Please do. Please do. All right, man. Signing off. Appreciate
Sure.
y'all again. We're going to catch y'all next week.
Peace.
Peace out.